Hey team, how we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and tonight is a fantastic subject. I love it. Let us know, sound, are we good? I want to see that thumbs up like you're a hitchhiker in the 80s. Let's go. Let's see it. The thumbs up. I need it. Let's see who's going to be the first people to become a member tonight too. Hit that join button. Hey Diesel Duck. I'm not a national service. Okay, we're all good. I just believe in an all-voluntary force works better. No, we can't do that anymore, Diesel Duck. G'day, Eric. How you going? It's been taken out of our hands, my friend. Taken out of our hands. Now, hopefully he's like this sound. I'm using the lab mic now. The mic from DJI. Clarity for those that are in the know. And we've got the Romans in the background. Guys and gals, what an interesting subject. This has really just come up right in our purview tonight. So we're watching this together. We've got the video down there. And I'm wondering, do you want to have other people on the screen watching it as well? What I might do is invite two other people on. I'm just who might want to get on there. Oscar Pylon, hey, Kaz, singing at the moment with a herniated disc. What's your best advice? Holy shit, mate, you need to take it easy. Do not touch yourself in pleasure, because if you get rid of the testosterone out of the pipes, everything feels worse. Ruminating mind. Get some rest of it. That sleeping pill from the RAP. And what that'll do, and it just stops that mind from going crazy. I need that all the time with this ADHD that I've got. Abdul, Allah Akbar. How you going, mate? Hey, Kaz, thank you very much for your advice on starting my naval initial training in July. Be careful of the golden rivet there, mate. Hey, Nicholas Jones. Hey, Kaz, I've got the membership for the... How do I get access to the bat phone? Okay, for the membership, it's at the top, the link for Patreon. All you need to do is click on that, go in there, follow directions, join the Black Legion, you know, and then from there, what I'll do, I will send you a text today, okay, that will give you the bat phone number and your warm greeting. And then from there, you and I set up a conversation as fast as possible. I've got a story for you in a second that's going to blow you away of a guy that was meant to join them and what actually happened. But if we can get that like button to 30, I'll tell you what the story is and you're going to be amazed. Jenny, how you going? Jenny from the block. Navy veteran, how's your golden rivet going, mate? Good to see you. Emily Aaron, could mandatory service just look like a mandatory ADF gap year for all? Pretty much. What it'll do is give a full qualification, but what it's not about is, because remember, if you do mandatory service, considering that more than half the population is overweight, wouldn't meet the fitness requirements or standards or medical things such as flat feet, bad back, scoliosis, asthma and all of these, doing that would not be fair. You know, we need to give our youth the best chance of success to be a good human, collectively, brotherhood, friendship, mateship, failure, picked up, retrained. That will only happen if there is conscription, wears a different uniform. So everyone knows the way I'm talking to this soldier, you know, regular, is not the same as talking to national service individual. Although it will be strict, it will be with a sense of urgency, and it will be backed up by the military judicial system. And they're not going to be trained by the same instructors who are preparing the Australian Army, American, Canadian, okay, Indian, New Zealand for war. Because I believe this is not a UK thing. This has to be the entire West, where we're losing. We are losing our grip with this woke agenda that's destroying our nations from the inside. I believe the greatest evil, the boogeyman, the straw man that have been created for us, it's from internally by the message of wokeness that is sweeping through our nation, pushing children against parents, against religion, against working, against judgment and pride, actual pride, not rainbow pride, and achievement through hard work. Yep. Collectively, not individually. Hey, Lisa, my sister, what are you doing here? She always talks to me when it's, you know, a couple of months from her birthday. know she's going to get a better prize. We need 10 more likes if you want. Navy veteran getting ready for my second deployment this year. We love the Navy ships. I'm becoming a maritime warfare officer. Abdul, you need to change your name, sir, before you get in so that your social media can't follow you, my friend. Yeah. And for all those down there, I dare you to come and join Patreon. Help me to help you and understand that our videos start to come out tomorrow about finance. That is going to be interesting because we need to break this cycle of what's happening financially to all of those that are in our societies and give them the best chance of financial success and class movement within society. And that's how you deal with mental health as well. We've got Billy Crash there. Hey, Cash, you're looking fit, mate. I don't feel it. I see they're dropping the requirements to join ADF because recruiting is down 14%. They shouldn't be dropping anything, dude. This is why we need national service. Lisa, my sister, sign up today. Happy Hobo and France will send troops if Ukraine front line and they'll be used as infantry, not some rear echelon. Nah, no one from France is going to Ukraine. No one's going to Ukraine, mate. One thing I will say before we go into this, what I believe, hey, Bullfrog, we've got 8 more likes before we find out what happens today. One thing, tell us what you think about this, what I believe should be happening right now in the Ukraine, what should be occurring. I believe that there is not a single thing that Zelensky can do for his country anymore, sadly, other than win his legacy. And I think what it's time for Mr. Zelensky is now to say, okay, it is time for who have we got here? Who can do it? Who can we turn to? The world needs a hero. Who are we going to call on? How about Venom? He will do. How about Venom steps up and becomes the leader of Ukraine? And what I believe Zelensky should do now is say more than 100,000 people have died under my leadership / management. What I'm going to do now as a man of pride is now give up this shirt that's never had sweat on it, take up a weapon and a helmet and go, where is the hardest fought place right now in Ukraine, and say, I am sorry, for not giving us victory or peace, and it's time to step up and take my side beside all of those that are dying for my country right now. If I ask your son to do it, I have to be prepared to do it. It's been 2 years. Okay, it's time to go and bleed for your country, Mr. Zelensky. That's the price of leadership in that price. Yeah, Mr. Leonidas. Okay, one king must die. Julius Caesar, fight from the front. Red cape flying. Agincourt. Look in your history, the answers are there. Okay, before we go into the video of what's going on, I want to see thumbs up if you have anyone that wants to come and join me right now as we're about to put the video on. Just so you're aware of what happened. One of our gallant young blokes who went today to go and sign up and go to Kapuka turned up to put his hand in the air, oath of affirmation. It's time to go, get on the train, chickadee, 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 chickadee. Okay, the plane or the bus. And got up there but turned up sick. And they said, man, I know that you've been waiting for this for 2 years. But guess what's going to happen? Because we can't let you bring in the WOG, the influenza, into Kapuka, causing potentially millions of dollars of loss of training, what's going to happen is you're going home, come back next week. How's that for an anticlimax? Does this sound better than normal, team? Bullshit baffles brains. There we go. Jordan. Some of the health issues they said have been dropped. To all fairness, should be a med class 4. You've got people that are potentially getting into the military that are already going to be med class downgraded before they even get in there. It's insane. Absolutely crazy. So HMAS supply can't have sniffy soldiers. Well, what you can't afford to do is end up with 300 soldiers with the influenza going through there and basically training that's been allocated months in advance being shut down. Okay, so bam, we'll put this up here. What we're going to do is we're going to step up here. That's me in the corner. It's me in the spot. Losing my religion. Ready. Dudders. Good quality. Sound quality is good. Video is great today. Yeah, new camera, new microphone, etc. What we're going to do is we're going to put the video up. But before we do that, what I'm also going to do, copy. Okay. Naturally, what's going to happen here is you will show up if you try to join and follow this link on your phone with your camera, microphone, etc. I'm going to allow 2 people to jump on with me. We're going to watch this video together. We'll pause in different areas and ask you what your thoughts are on said video. Naturally, you'll be in the green room when you first come in. Okay, so I'll be able to look at that and maybe say, hey, maybe this person shouldn't come on to cause trouble. But bam, there it is. Just so you know, it's not me always trying to dominate from the front. What's going to happen here? There's the link. If you want to come on and help me right now, do a reaction to the UK video that we're about to put up, I want to see you in that room.
And it's
well,
an
let's
election.
Go there. And stumbles. David Bull is his name. Okay, we'll get that out of the way for the moment. Jake almost hit the 3-year mark for my enlistment. Hopefully this winter intake, however, officially in the final phase. It's insane. If you were watching this as part of the military, disgusted, you know, or get on the bat phone and call me offline so I can have a conversation with you on what's happening behind the scenes. But if you were leadership, then guys, go and do an internal check of what's going on, because we have soldiers who have been trying out for a year to get in. And single day, there is no one, even your recruiting teams are not on the phone more often than me, helping the army to help them to help you. HR hands. Okay. Guys, gals, we need this, and we need good people, and we need volunteers. Stop closing or opening the net. But Eating says, concerned Aussie, that's okay. That's all right, I can do this alone. Kaz, it's a tale as old as Rome. One party supports the people, the other supports the rich business and senators. If other people in today's world, but no, everyone the same. Yep, don't want to lose my job. Okay, Navy veteran, I get that one. Okay, the Bullfrog says, one guy I met today, only been in enlistment process for 4 months. Officers where people are doing the job, that are looking after their people and doing the right thing. This is an individual thing that gets in the way sometimes, team, unfortunately. All right, as we'll watch the video now, I look forward to seeing what your response is to this question. Bam. But just remember, if you say no to this, you know, the next question would come down to, where are we? Yeah, that's it. Okay, a simple yes. You are the simple yes or no. You are for the entire West having national service for domestic protection, not projected empire building, national service, or against it. And the caveat to that is, if you're against it, should you be allowed to be protected by it, and what does that mean? Remember, in the USA, that as soon as you are 18, you have to be on and signed up to the draft, or you can't do university, etc. But this is only for males. Feminism doesn't exist when it's convenient. So is this going to be open to females as well? And I think it has to be, because we're not talking anymore about projecting force on an overseas threat or enemy. We're talking about domestic, and we're not talking about combat cause either. So there is no reason why these young girls don't deserve the best chance to wear a uniform, make their friends, get their self-esteem built up, give them all the teamwork, actual leadership training instead of management training of themselves. You know, the girls are having as hard a time, if not harder, in these modern times than what men are. Yep. Dave Keys, how you going, mate? And thank you for your generosity all the time. I see it, Dave. We need to talk. It was not. It was never like that back before they brought in contractors. That is right. Let's get to it. We'll get this off. So you're either for it or against it.
It's an election, and everything. All the papers this morning are full.
Before this goes on, do you think this is going to a hit piece or a good. What we're seeing is what looks like a fairly camp, probably gay kind of guy on the right. Okay, doesn't look like he's got the pressure of being a father on his shoulders. And we've seen the guy on the left, which is David Bull, who looks like he's saying, yes, sailor, crossing the equator. So I'll get that weird line off there. And let's go and see, is this going to be against it or for it? I'll give you 1 minute and then we're going to get on with the video. Just letting phone charge, Kaz. The Zen Dan, good on you, mate. Dave Keys, I hope you're feeling better. It's still this weird claw, the blue swimmer crab's rear leg. I don't know what the hell's going on with it, but yeah. Aussie legend would be people some life skills after they leave school before they get into the real world. Absolutely. It's also going to be a parent replacement and teacher replacement for those that have been let down by the educational system or a lack of testosterone in the household. What do we got? Let's go.
Of electoral bliss. Obviously. The big headline, I woke up at about 3 o'clock this morning, and the big headline that had been tweeted out on all the media outlets was this one about the Conservatives' plan to bring back mandatory, and this is the crucial word here, mandatory national service.
I love it. Mandatory. No choice. But that should also be for all classes. That includes our politicians' children should be the first ones signed up. What do you reckon about that? JM, fathers join defence for their children. Yep. Leland McKenzie, you're going to need a lot of people to help protect Chinese citizens when the big one kicks off. Yeah. I don't think we have a threat from China. I think there's an economical threat. I don't think there is
if it wins the next general election. Now, if you are just waking up, let me tell you what this will entail. It said 18-year-olds would have a choice of full-time or volunteering one weekend every month carrying out a community service. There would be a royal commission. It will cost about £2.5 billion a year. And young people could choose a full-time 12-month placement in the armed forces or UK. Interesting. Learning about logistics, cybersecurity, procurement or civil response operations. Or the other option is to volunteer one weekend a month or 25 days a year in the community with organisations such as the Fire Police and the NHS. Thoughts?
It's fucking amazing. Every single job they just said, one, there's a choice. Two, there's bugger all that they have to turn up for, and it's all to do with giving back to the nation. By taking away the civilian clothes fashion, by replacing that with a code and a dress code and a military system that can be enforced mandatorily, which also has rewards in it. That's going to allow these people to be a better version of themselves while act to society in areas where they need it the most. Remember, the UK is trying this model from a conservative perspective. Conservatives are like those care about the greater good rather than just individually about himself, where the far leftist only thinks about themselves and what is the current wacky that they can attach themselves with while they hide from the reality of life itself. So it would be amazing to see these people go away and come back a different version of himself. And I believe one thing that should really happen on this national service is when they're completed, there really should be a graduation parade for them. The parents can go in and then see their children and say what they have achieved. See the new side of them, and it would be amazing. Momentum very quickly. Jake, I think before a mandatory service program is implemented, I think a mandatory fitness program should be a part of schools. So it's too late. When 99% of them are in the Oval, you can't expect them to be motivated to go and do more. They shit themselves when the NAP plan came out and they could be held accountable. Sorry, Cass, if you're listening. Right on, Jake. Okay, let's go.
I think it's a nice idea. I think it's good. I think what's interesting about seeing the feedback on this is there aren't many people saying this is a terrible idea. I think there is something in the British psyche about national service, despite most people not really ever having done it themselves.
So, like Australia, The UK is a lot more condensed, and they are losing their nation, especially their inner cities at the moment. And the nationalistic, national-loving, country-loving people of the UK, all they want is law and order, okay, and to know that they're part of a country where they're not losing all. An echo occurs, Dave, when... So I can't do anything about that, Eric.
So if you think of my parents' generation, sort of in their...
My father did.
Well,
I'm older than you.
Well, exactly. So, my granddad did, and he talked so lovingly about it and how much it taught him, and, getting you sort of away from where you're growing up and meeting other definite benefits to it. I think that's great. It's just really odd to have it coming out of Rishi Sunak's mouth.
Well, I think this, I said this to Christo, it came out of Isaac Davido, who's one of the big campaign strategists. I think well with Middle England. I think people think that...
I think it's fantastic as well that this is coming from a man of colour who's actually bringing this up. I think that's because what that does, it shuts down a lot of arguments. Do we have anyone out there that is against it? I understand we're having a bit of audio problems with this. Okay, so maybe we don't get to do understand that what does national service give us? Okay, what it does, it weaponises our youth and identity. It gives them purpose. It gives them achievement. It gives them skills. It'll give them a certificate that says you have served your nation on their resume, that gives them a sense of belonging to the protection of service and accomplishment that could go into their resume when they go for a job, where you can look and go, oh, so you were against doing your service. I'm sorry, HR department, we won't allow anyone that hasn't done their mandatory service. Well, if it's mandatory, you have to, don't you? In Israel, when you go over there, all of the men and women, they get to be tourism police, not just having weapons, and they're walking around. You see people in McDonald's with their weapon system over their shoulder at unload, and everyone looks happy. I never saw an angry person the entire time I was in Israel, and that is because every single person has done their national service time. It gave social standing. It gave you a delineation between child and adult, something we don't have in Australia, America, something we don't have in New Zealand, okay? It's a beautiful thing. People are like animals. We need boundaries. And when boundaries are created in place, we like to follow them. Anyway, I know I'm for not all Australians would be put Australian first. These traders would need to be weeded out. Look, there'd be a teething. There would be a teething problem. The bullfrog, I was just on the phone with an ex-Nasho from my church. He served in the 1950s. He had most positive memories about the process. And my great-grandfather was also a Nasho in the 50s. He was Ramey. Ramey are always good blokes. One of the things that happened with the Nashos, and the funny thing is about it, is at the time, whether they wanted to or not, and they went in there, none of them went to Vietnam against their will. Everyone that done the national service, ended up talking about the military for the rest of their life. Like it was such a positive thing. Oh, here we go. We've got the concerned Aussie. Here he comes. Wait. There we go, mate. How are you?
I'm going good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good, mate. Pretty good. We had some... oh, that doesn't look good. Until we get another person up. Bam. Here we are. Okay, so... we see you there with your busted wing. I've got no Mad Max protection gear on it. Was it a skateboard you fell off?
No.
Okay. Mate, what's your thoughts? Let me give you a minute to talk about national service. Everything
I think,
considering you were the way to me.
I think national service is really good.
You think no?
I hope it's not getting thrown about right now because it looks like we're heading into a really bad situation. I think that it should be something that's permanent all the time because a lot of young guys and girls need something, a bit of structure in their life.
Mm. There's a lot of lost people out there, isn't there?
100%. And like, whether it's unity, bringing people together, it'll give them life skills, health, mateship, camaraderie, and it's just all of the things that mate. I haven't been there, unfortunately, but I'm longing for it. So if I get an opportunity to do something, I'll be throwing my hat in the ring. That's for sure.
Look, me too, mate. Wait a sec. I've just been asked to put my sound down a bit. Wait 2 seconds. I think they were talking to me. Let's see what happens there. Enough. That's a bit softer. Wait 2 seconds. Yeah. At the end of the day, all I want is for our countries to realise we've got a problem before. And luckily, I'm one of the only people I know that is actually retired at my age, which allows me to, especially in Western Sydney, to spend a lot of time walking around face to face, talking to young people and actually seeing in their face, there is no guidance. If you don't give someone guidance somewhere, you're useless, you didn't do well at school in this memory game, which has got nothing to do with intelligence, you have no hope for the future, you're getting looked at like police, like you're a piece of shit, then these people will go to gangs, they'll go to bikies, they'll go to organised crime, they will go to the loudest captain that will give them a uniform, whether that be good
jail,
or whether all of the good go, you don't qualify because of this, or this, they will find a place to fit in.
That's right.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. My PFA is June 6th, I think. Then I got my enlistment date. Yeah, random person. Once you pass your PFA and sometimes before, you'll get an enlistment contract to sign. Yeah. So, what about all countries? All Western countries, because this is a Western value system. I believe we are getting a Marxist attack by our own government that is attacking our middle, so that we become an entire society that is dependent on our government rather than independent. And the best society you can have, although it's still got problems with it, is a capitalist society where everyone has a chance of mobility to put in the work, to be entrepreneurial, an opportunity to rise and become the best you can be.
Something you just touched on there, a capitalist society. I'm sort of stuck on us being the Commonwealth. I'm really interested to see like an older hand, someone older than me, to tell us what the Commonwealth was all about. I thought that was about we work and the toil from our soil. I thought we inherited all of the good stuff from our hard work and the fruits of our lands. I thought we had like a little bit of a safety network with the education, with our health system and all that sort of stuff, but we also had an open element to capitalist as well. I thought we had the best of both worlds, and to me it seems like something's fallen away or it's gone wayward. Am I right?
I totally agree. I totally agree. I think that we give away Australia's resources, Wiki Forester, etc. And you go, why is an individual getting Australia's resources and paying bugger all tax? I think at the moment what we should be doing before we help other countries, we should be saying things like flow hives. I said this to a guy today, in case you don't know, guys. If you are one of these innovators, if it's good for the country and it's good for society and it's something we need, honey, bees, okay, and we need that. The flow hive inventor, the government should have said, you don't have to do a GoFundMe, mate. What a bloody great idea. How much is it going to cost for this to get done and for you to become the head of the CSIRO for bees and pollinisation across areas that need it the most? We're going to give you multiple millions of dollars, and it's not a loan, it's yours. Same deal, dairy farmer. We need milk. We don't want this corporation to be taken over people that don't have a passion in it. What is the price per litre that we need to pay for someone who is in that industry that gets up early and has more tits in his hand than Harvey Weinstein, that that let's pay them not what they need, not what they want, but what it is for that to be a flourishing, and keep Coles and Woolworths off their back. So
that's another
there
thing.
should be,
Like, everything's been privatised. Like, we used to own everything, from water, jails, you name it. It's all been privatised now. We don't. Where's all our money gone? Why are we in so much debt? Toll roads.
Yep.
Toll roads.
Yep. Why is it there's, I think, 27 different tolls in Sydney alone where I am, but as soon as I get 1 kilometre north of that last toll of Sydney, there's only one toll between here in Sydney and Darwin. Yeah, one toll.
Well, I can't.
Okay.
I don't understand these things, and I don't understand why, if you get busted speeding or something on these toll roads, that they're owned by overseas corporations. Our police will take our driver's license off us because of some foreign corporation.
Yeah. Do you know how much it costs for a parking ticket now in Sydney? It can cost over $400 for a parking ticket.
Yeah, everything's out of control. Nothing makes any sense.
Yep. Home ownership for people in Australia. For a young person watching now, before we get into finance videos tomorrow. Now, you can talk to your parents and they can be in a house they've owned for 60 years or 40 years, but now they have to look at selling their house because $2,500 for insurance on a house they've owned for 60 years. $2,500 on top of that for rates. And this is before you talk about home repairs. And they're on a pension. You're going, so they could literally lose their house that they own after doing a full lifetime of work for this nation during some of its hardest times, and then get told by someone, no, you're going to lose that. I don't know. It's amazing. What have we got? Carl P, make Australia AU great again. Yeah, but we need to make Australia great again, and we can do it, but we haven't got any leaders. There is no one on earth that could look at Albanese and say that man is a leader. He's a wet mouth, He has no inspiration about him, and he's amazing the way he's got every single thing wrong since he's been in. That's a cold streak I couldn't do, and I've got bad luck. But I believe that national service, we need to curb it. We need to, curb it as in put it there, but not for what people initially think when they see it, that this is going to be a conglomerate of a fighting arm. What will happen when you have this national service, which is completely separate to the regular army, is people within national service will then have the option to go, well, dude, who wants to sign up here? And then they can go, I want you, and I want you, and I want you, and you two over there, that guy over there, that girl over there. Before you know it, you've got an oversubscribed military.
That's right. It's like a feeder club.
And what happens Yep, you can bring those filthy, low, dropped standards that are going to get people killed in the future, and you can rise them back up again because now you've got an oversubscribed company, and that's what happens. Yeah, make army great again.
100%.
100%. He's not up to the job. Either is Wong. You're right, Eric. Penny Wong is always Wong by nature. Make your bad luck is nothing compared to mine, says Lloydie. Yeah, maybe we're close there. Jelena, important to We Are United. What length of the service would national service be? It'd be 1 year. Instead of doing a gap year, which is one of the worst things that we did in this country, is tell kids to take their foot off the pedal, go and goof off, have an endless summer for 1 year. Guess what? Their engine doesn't turn back on. So you need to put them back in there somewhere that is all of a sudden that child and adult, they go there for a year, and it shouldn't be just 1 weekend a month. That is nothing. Okay, they go and do their training, and it should be, I believe, 6 weeks, at least, and then it continues on throughout the country. It's the federal system gives them collective skills that are agreed on. I believe our education system should also be where every single person can look at that and have some sort of input on what the curriculum is that our children go under and what should not be in it. And we don't have any rights to that. We don't know what's in there. You know, I know at the school my daughter was at, we're not even allowed on school premises. And you're like, well, you're asking me to trust a teacher with my kid, but you're not trusting me to come onto the school grounds to pick my kid up? How does that work? That's weird. What's happening there? It makes you want to go and say, well, what's happening on the school? I want to see the library. What books are being in there? What is the message that you don't want me to see? Anyway. Hey, Kaz, you see a whistleblower who was a military judge just got sent to prison maybe last week for reporting SAS war crimes. Really?
David McBride, I wanted to ask you about him.
That's interesting. Okay, so what happened there? Tell us.
I don't know. I think he's a ex-British military dude. Came to Australia, must have gone overseas. I don't know what he blew the whistle on, whether it had anything to do with the SAS sort of thing from Afghanistan. I'm not sure. But he did get jailed, I believe. I'm not sure, maybe 4 or 5 years or something.
Wow.
So,
I wonder what the charge was.
I believe it was they gave him a pretty sturdy sentence as a warning to others who were going to, do the right thing, blow the whistle, or, I'm assuming he's thinking he's doing the right thing. I don't know anything about it, really, to be honest. I was hoping that you'd have a bit of intel for us.
I haven't looked on that one yet, but I will, because I've got views on that too. I believe that there is crimes that can happen within a civilized nation that instantly go above what people's opinions are, and it starts with death penalty. And that is traitor, and that is terrorism. If you were affiliated, okay, then you should get the death penalty, because that's against your own nest. In any herd, that would happen. I believe that at the moment, anyone that is involved in that situation, that are barracking for the wrong side on what's happening and saying certain terms, that I believe they should all get in the
I don't know exactly what protests. I don't know what's happened here. I believe he went to go through all the right channels and got shut down. So, unfortunately, I don't know enough.
It seems like all of these crimes that used to be sort of crimes against humanity now are treated like either a misdemeanor or some sort of offence which is completely separate, because it's against everyone in your nation, it's a difficult one. But I do believe that depends on what you do in the public, and what you voiced a knock on the door at a time of their choosing, where a police officer comes in and lets you know you've got a summons, and go, what's going on? Why are you here to see my daughter Sarah? Your daughter Sarah is 18 years old and she's been asked to turn up tomorrow at the police station at 10 o'clock. You can come with her, you can bring a lawyer, but she needs to be there, and it's a summons. What's happening? She turns, bam, you have now been told face to face, this is your brief, that you are now on the terror watch list because of things you've done, things you've said, things you've expressed, and now, because of your actions, there may be repercussions that will follow you for the rest of your life. That's all we're letting you know. I suggest from here you take a tactical pause, you look at who the friends are, you do talking about, and what you're actually suggesting, and then go on your day, and I hope you enjoy your coffee. That would send a worry, but I'll also be concerned we've got to make sure that we don't also militarise our police force to the point where we walk past them and treat them like Gestapo in the streets, Prejudicial behaviour is what Dave Key's got done for. Okay, what about the cost? What about the cost of national service? Or what's a counter?
Well, we're paying the price now, aren't we?
Whatever the financial cost, what is the cost if you don't do it? Is it a lost generation? Have we already lost a generation because of COVID?
Yeah, we've already lost a couple of generations, I believe.
Yep. They removed the father from the house.
Yeah.
We're seeing that happen across the entire West.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think it was an accident.
No, I don't.
You know?
No, I don't.
Oh,
been watching that happen for a long time, mate. You know?
Okay, so Poker Face secret documentation as well. Okay. Peppers is saying, we love Pepper, except when it comes out the Jaxie. Hey, Kaz, slightly off topic, but what are your thoughts on Vic Police apologising for the stolen generation? Well, you've got to, again, you've got to do some deep thinking there and remember that the stolen generation wasn't just Aboriginals, it was anyone that was considered to not be looking after their children. An Aboriginal thing, they were just part of it. Okay, so it wasn't just, hey, we grab a kid and then give it to a white family. It was people, it was basically the first version of child welfare agency to take children from dangerous or negligent families of any colour. And it wasn't just a policeman that turned up, it was a court official, you know, and it was someone, a representative as well. You know, there's a lot more to it, but you never hear the whole story. Yeah. And there's a lot of people in Mexico, you think, man, you know, some of those children that are coming across that southern border, I'd adopt them now just to save their life.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
Yep. We live in a harsh world. And this is a question, you know, that I was pondering with a fantastic Patreon member today. What is your opinion, concerned Aussie? Are people predominantly good or are people genuinely bad?
I'm sure it's predominantly good, and there's always a couple of bad eggs.
Okay.
I went for a walk today.
Yeah.
And I was very surprised with how many people said g'day to us right on dusk, and it made my day.
It doesn't take much, eh?
That's right. Costs nothing to smile and say hello and thank you.
All it takes is a sandwich to make a divorce get, you know, pushed away. I get a sanger, there's no more divorce on the table. I just wonder sometimes when we see what humans are like, that we have to have either our religious and spiritual laws in place so we govern ourselves to stop us from following our urges, to create that self-discipline, or we need judicial laws in place to instill discipline and punishment against our natural urges. So when you look at different countries, I just wonder, are we predominantly good or bad? You know, are we so instilled to following the laws that it's easy to think people are predominantly good? But like you said today, you walked down the street and got a great response. I had a very unusual situation today. And for all the Patreon members, thank you. You helped me pay for this. But yesterday, I was perplexed in the street. And this guy, he'd fucked his life well and truly. This guy had blown it. He'd fallen out of the idiot tree, clearly. He had tattoos all over his face, all over his neck, and every bit of his face, like a skunk, where he'd used the cement as a runway and touched down, and he had no skin left on him. And out of everyone in Western Sydney, naturally, I look at him. How you going, mate? What do you think's going to happen? All of a sudden, he transforms into a seagull. You got a cigarette? Do you smoke? Can I have one? I went, I don't smoke, never smoked. And he goes, but would you give me one if you were? And I went, yeah. He goes, money. Have you got money? And I went, it's a cashless society, pretty much. But if I had it, I'd give it to you. He went, okay, on my way. The story goes on. This morning, I walk over to Westfields. I go to have a coffee upstairs at the McDonald's. I turn around and he's there, like Venom, He's just standing there like he's been following me for 24 hours. I turn around, mate, g'day, mate, how you going? And he's going, mate, I'm really hungry. Really, really hungry. Can you get me something to eat? And I went, of course I can. I'm not going to deny someone food. Righto, come over, we'll get you some tucker. I go over to the woman behind the counter. Everyone is looking at this guy like, don't come to me, bro. You know, he looks like a living cootie. His name was Chris. And I go, tell the lady what you want and I'll get it for you. You would think there'd be some sort of humbleness there. Thank you, mate. Just give me a sausage McMuffin and a coffee and I'll be good. It's winter. Thank you. No. This guy doubled down, mate. Cha-ching, let it roll. Mate, I'll have all of a sudden he's walked from weird to, I'll get a Big Mac meal large and throw another Big Mac in the bag for later. Yeah. $23 for what I thought was going to be a McMuffin and a coffee. You know, that bastard, he got me good. He got all of us Patreon members, he got us good. But
lesson learned.
You got to do what you got to do, don't you?
Lesson learned.
Yeah, he just, I don't know. Do I feed him again? I don't know.
He owes you a Big Mac.
What do you guys got?
He owes you a Big Mac.
Yeah, well, I might do a video soon where I go into places where the homeless are and I'm going to ask them for $2 fucking. And watch the confusion on their face. Go, mate, you got $2? Wait, what do you mean? Go, we pay rent. You know, you're not married. You're definitely not paying maintenance. You know, can I have $2? I'm hungry fucking too. Yeah, sure. And if they took $2 out of the little cup beside their starving dog, I'd give them 50.
Yes.
Yes. You know, but if they say, no, you can't have it, then go, yeah, well, good. Because now you get shit and I hope you're cold. See ya. I'll give them a skateboard with one wheel. Yeah, mate. That's hilarious, Kaz. You've got a great attitude. I love people, mate. I love people, and I'll give everyone a chance to rub me face in it, so to speak.
100%. Everyone's my mate until proven otherwise.
Yep. And I've met a couple of homeless people, but I had a tear in my eye when I actually started to hear the story behind them. You know, how they got there. They've all got a journey. The homeless guy that's got a tattoo shows you there was a time in their life where they had enough money that was spare that they could spend it on something as stupid as a tattoo, which I've got as well. So that told you they didn't always have problems. They had spare money. You know, but something happened since then. They went to a party and she said, if you give, and then they get lured into a life that doesn't agree with them. Anyway, get here in Darwin all the time. Some are genuine people that are my eyes, mate. Get it here in Darwin all the time. Some are genuine people, but a good chunk live like that by choice. Absolutely they do. G'day, Nigel Hart. How you going, mate? G'day. Has anyone heard how Wingnut is doing at Kapuka? I haven't heard from him, which is great news. You know, I've had a few phone calls. I've got a great phone call from one of our Indian soldiers at the moment who's not having the best time, more because of language barrier, but he's absolutely loving it there and his family is prospering, which is great. Yeah, the army, it's like a bag of Skittles. You've got everyone there. No one gives a shit who you are as long as you don't go to sleep on picket, you know, and you've got a good sense of humour. That's all that matters. Peter Mayfield, pack of durries. National service. Let's get back on the top. Would take a lot of stress of the Centrelink system, getting young people off job seeker and into defence. I totally agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see if we can get this guy back on and see if we can get any more of what he's got to say. I'll get rid of this ticker up here. Hide that ticker.
There are a group of feral youths roaming the streets that actually need to be taught discipline. I'm not sure the army will be that thrilled about this. On to say that actually under this plan it will essentially foster national spirit. He says this is a great country, but generations of young people have not had the opportunities or experience they deserve, and there are forces trying to divide our society in this increasingly uncertain world. It's about bringing a shared sense of purpose. I think he's on the money.
I think if you want to give young people a sense of purpose, maybe make work pay and allow them to have a situation where they could afford their own homes.
Sure. But
Just
what about
we'll
this?
slap them in the army for
But
a
what
year.
about teamwork? Actually working as part of a team, fostering spirit, national identity, being proud of this country, getting behind the Union flag, all of those things which we're losing. And I think it's really important.
No,
Okay, in comments, out of 100, how much do you love your country?
1,000.
Okay, I'll put my score in. I'll try and beat you. There's no such thing, concerned Aussie. Okay, bam, I'll say it, 100. 100%. Bam. I love our country. Do I get frustrated with the management? I don't call it leadership. Absolutely. But I see people all the time that absolutely love that work so hard for their family, everything they do. You know, what I loved, Silly Smoker, g'day buddy. What I loved, concerned Aussie, was, do you remember the footy last year when that dickhead gobbed off at the national anthem at the Anzac Day, or was it Remembrance Day, and he got the shit punched out of him? And even the go, well, that's what do you expect?
That should be standard.
I love the fact that people didn't. Yep. Look at that. I love it. 100 everywhere. 100 everywhere except Carl P. He said 5 out of 100. Carl is the only one that wrote 5.
Why
Eric
don't we
says
have
1,000.
the Commonwealth of Australia on our banknotes anymore?
I didn't know we didn't.
Stopped in 1973.
Do you know what? I didn't know that. This is why I have a channel for interesting stuff like this. Press like if you didn't know that in 1973 that we lost the Union Jack. Huh. Did you know that the reason why I've got an inflamed manhood is because I love our country so much that I can't get past an ant nest without showing my love for the country? Damn bull ants, gay bull ants, they always bite me. I know Jennifer loves the country. I saw a pigeon lady in Adelaide Airport with her pigeons. Turns out she has money. And there we go. Well, this is getting boring because everyone says 100. You know, maybe if the country was more like our channel, we'd be good to go.
Well, pretty much everyone who's going to be watching this are pretty much all going to be on that 100 side.
Or shit scared that they might be going to get national service. Jen loves Australia. I know that Jennifer had joined today. Okay, what's our thought process on females? What happens there? You know, not combat corps, males and females, because I categorically do not want females overseas in uniform, okay, in the ultimate skill of arms against voluntary grown men combatants. There is not a single sport where females can compete against men other than ultra marathons, etc. And I think there was one event that was won once.
Well,
you know, on the ultimate game where you cannot afford a single loss, and even on a win you can lose your life. I don't want our daughters. You know, a man's job is to protect, whether people like that or not. Our job is to protect, and we protect them with laws that protect them from themselves as well. And I believe that females should not be holding weapons overseas other than protection in support roles.
Well, how about having it performance based
out of love,
and there's no foot up? You know, you've got to carry the heavy pack. You got to do everything that a man's got to do. If they get past that and they're really determined, it's not.
But the tough thing about that military, as you know, military is not just about physical; it's about the mind as well. And when a woman walks into the room, men change. Either they simp, or they shut down, or they're scared shitless. They're going to do something or say something that one day can be held against them, and you don't even get a chance to basically meet your accuser. You know, or and I'm not even talking about SA here. I'm talking about even in something you've done or said. You know, because men don't name names, and when they do, they're punished for it.
Mm.
You know?
I'm agreeing.
Soup Nazi. The bullfrog, 89%. I love the country, but they make it hard sometimes. You know, you'll love it soon. Is Ken Zook still active? Canada, New Zealand, and UK. I believe so. I'm not sure. We've got people eradicating themselves from the stream at the moment. It must be almost time to go. Females, yes. Females, no. Put in comments, please, guys. And look from perspective. Okay, not just girls. Daughter. Would you let or want your daughter, to be overseas?
Guys, should it just
let her go and work for?
Should it be left at national service just for young people, or should there be another parallel service for older people as well who want to serve and who want to be involved? Doesn't mean
Absolutely
full-time military.
I believe in voluntary auxiliary positions for fire brigade, for ambulance service, for hospitals, especially in emergency areas where people can be in there attending those people having their worst day that are by themselves, that are waiting for their family to turn up. I've been that person. It is the loneliest motherfucking place you've ever been, in a place of pain where no one brings you a drink, no one brings you a blanket, and you can be there for 18 hours in a free medical system. That would be a beautiful thing. Just a little bit of compassion, a hand on the shoulder, love. Can I get you a chicken hero? Can I get you a cup of coffee? Whatever it takes. There is so many great people that would give if the institute was there that allowed for that.
100%.
When people go, what do you want me to do? If you go to SES, there's a SES to go and work there. There's a mafia in there as well.
Yes.
Things happen in all these areas where it becomes an unpleasant place to be. Let people gravitate to where they want to go. Aussie Legend, females as long as they're at the same standard as guys. Okay. Dave Keys says, job for everyone. Both my grannies served in World War II. Bam. Well done. Women's Auxiliary. Well done. We're only as strong as our weakest link. We move at the speed of our weakest, that's for sure. Females, yes, but they have to be in the same standard as men. Okay, that won't happen. I'd be proud if my kids wanted to serve. Absolutely, Peppers. Absolutely. But we also have to protect our kids from themselves sometimes. I.e., they ask, what do you think about transgender in sport? And people go, yeah, okay, whatever. But have you seen what happened when males actually went into fighting sports and didn't have to declare it and nearly killed women in the UFC ring, in the MMA ring? It was horrible what happened. Combative sports. No one would want their daughter to be fighting someone the same weight that has male bone density, that has been a male their entire life, with testosterone still in their body, fighting their daughter.
Tranny league.
Yeah. We're only as strong as... Yeah. Well, mate, let's see what else I got to say.
I think it is important. I think it has a role. As I say, I'm not against this idea. I don't think it's ever going to happen. But I'm not against it. I just think there's no point doing that if then they come out of the army or wherever they've been in cybersecurity and then they still can't afford their bills.
Sure, no, I understand that.
So there's a wider conversation around...
But what is interesting, it has made every single newspaper this morning, as you would expect, but there is a dividing line now between them and Labour, because the Labour Party this morning has come out and said it's another desperate 2.5 billion of unfunded commitment from a Tory party which has already crashed the economy, sending mortgages rocketing, and they're spoiling for more. You see, I don't think they know what to... or how to respond to this.
Well, I mean, how the tide has turned, that now we've got the Labour saying the Tories are spending too much money. What's happening?
I know.
They haven't costed it. So, I think it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. We've obviously got to get these manifestos in, and then I think you can do some proper stories about this is uncosted, this is how much it's all going to cost. Because to be honest, I know they've got a bit of a ballpark 2.5 billion a year that this is going to cost, but let's get the detail first.
But you see, there's another point to this, which actually...
Cars just came up with a very, very good point, probably the best point of the night. Who's going to babysit them? Who's going to look after them? Remember that the initial conduct that will be like it'll be incredible. The fight back against people that are saying, I don't want to be here. There might be 80 people that say, okay, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it. I hear we're going to have benefits of this as well. And there might be 20 that buck against it, and those 20 might be absolutely shrill. So there has to be a penalty that is also the judicial system that will punish them for what they do wrong. But at the same time, who do you use to do it? You can't have regular soldiers and instructors that are actually training people for war. You've got to keep that focus there. So will it be people that have discharged, that have been instructors in the past, and will get a special allowance? Might be like an NDIS system where the instructors are actually really paid well, financially really rewarded for doing that. So that becomes an actual logical off-ramp for soldiers that have reached the rank of corporal or above in their military career, that allow them to go and do several years there as an instructor, that gives them financial benefit, university enrollment, all paid for, whatever. So it'd have to be, again, for those that do that, an off-ramp from regular army to that militia system. What would it look like? I don't know. It would be hard.
Well, this is the opportunity that we've got. We can get some good minds together and dream up what the best thing for our nation is.
Yep.
Whether, like I watched that thing today about the CF Citizens Military Force, and they had schemes where you could get housing and loans and all sorts of things. Is that what we do? If you move,
there should never be a soldier that does 20 years that doesn't end up with at least a plot of land for the service that they've given the nation. You can't defend the land and then own none, unless you sell it. It won't be, it's not going to be at Barangaroo, but if you get options of parcels of Crown land in areas around Australia, and then you find out, well, guess what? There's going to be another 100 veterans there. The guy would never leave there.
Well, I tell you what,
there's 100 dudes that are going to be like me.
There's a hell of a lot of like little ghost towns just a couple of hours outside of their main capital cities, and there we go. All the infrastructure's there.
There would be towns that would beg for them settlements to be in their location.
Yeah.
Fantastic. More people coming into their town.
And don't leave it.
Poker face has just become welcome to the great unwashed. We've got a member. Sorry, Sue?
Don't leave it just as a national service. Also integrate this a volunteer service thing with it as well. Turn it into an industry. Make it work for the nation.
It would become a feeder to all sorts of companies, mate. It really would, because you're getting them before they've got materialistic bad habits,
Yeah.
Because you're getting people who come from private school. Connor says draft everyone within an enlistment age should get a job preference if not suitable. You get whatever suits you best, like your current job. Okay. You got to give people what you can a chance to have some sort of choice in what they go towards, to give them the best chance of also being successful, because we've got to make sure that we don't look at it like it's an actual punishment.
Yes.
People shouldn't feel they're being punished by national service.
No, you should be proud.
That's awesome. Absolutely. Anyone that is against it, at least I'm in a position to be able to say 24 years service, and I get tears in my eyes that I wish that I could wear my uniform again. All the people that down ramp from army, you go, if you've never worn the uniform or stood for something, whether that be police, whether it be paramedics, Peter's out there. I think he just graduated today, 50 years old, paramedic, fucking fantastic, angel on the street. These guys and gals that are in our streets that save people and no one remembers their faces or their names. When you were in uniform and you're part of the generation like I was that was allowed to walk around everywhere in uniform, it does define who won't walk past problems. You become part of the solution. And that's what we want our youth to become, is part of all solutions. I've spoken to some really, really good young people recently. I really have. And once they realise that you're not down ramping them and looking at them like they're something inferior, they can surprise you. Because I tell you now, when I was 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 and 24, I did not have the maturity of a lot of these tradies that I see now who are 19 years old, 20 years old, got their own vehicle, and already going and doing jobs with no supervision for their tradesmen. I think they're excellent. Jesse Bell says, personally, I will never wear the green again. My mates are dead. I'm sorry for that, mate, who have served the corporatocracy. Will take the jail time refusing to sign up. We serve people, not worth it. Jesse, I bet you made a difference to people you didn't realise you made a difference to. When we go overseas, Rwanda was a tragedy, but there would be people there that are alive today just because there's balked because they thought we might do what we should have been doing. You'll never understand the impact you can have or the fact that you can give hope. The sad thing is, if you give hope to the hopeless, sometimes you can also immerse them in hell that they've got to live through for the rest of their life, knowing the rest of the world, is privileged. And we are very, very privileged. We are. Yep. And our path has been paid for by the blood over 103,000 others before us. We need to always remember that. Our uniform is beautiful. You can hate the leadership but love the military. Apparently, the Chief of the Defence Force has only got a month to go, and I've heard he might even be getting a big payout. Since when do you get a big payout?
Is this Stuart?
No. Angus Campbell.
Right.
Yeah. How much is your legacy worth, team? That's why I get upset when I see sportsmen in the end of their career that can't hang up the boots, leave their team for a lesser performing team when they've done many, many years, where they've got a legacy. Go, don't leave the town. Take the pay cut. Be an immortal in that town where forever you were looked at like a goddamn legend. Don't piss it all up for an extra $100,000 a year. Kaz, do you agree that if you're being called upon for national service, you should get a choice between RAN or Army, considering they're both understaffed? It won't be like that, Jordan. You're not going to get to go to a service. You're not going to do the regular Army's job. You're going to go there and you are going to do the training. You're going to do equivalent to a gap year, where you do all the training. You don't necessarily get a unit affiliation, righto? And then what you're going to go into is an Army Reserve follow-on contract, which is the best side hustle you can possibly have. Believe me, tax-free money, where you have the choice to go, it looks like it's raining, I might not turn up this weekend. That is beautiful.
Is it going to be tax-free though?
National service should be. Because only full-time service that isn't. Yeah.
Because that's the blue that they've been having. That was the blue that they were having with the CMF and the reserves. They just cherry pick when they want to take the tax.
Absolutely. But if you've got a unit that has also got great leadership, great instructors, then what happens is, and great diggers, it becomes a place where people want to be. Mateship. The real reason people stay in the Army is because of the friends and the mates and the camaraderie. Yeah. Well, mate, I might, Kaz, is there an option to go from national service to full-time? Yep, there would be. And there'd be people that get cherry-picked from there all the time. I believe that everyone we need in the military would come organically from people that go, I'm not going to give up this after doing this long. Can I sign over right now? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, don't let that guy go home until you sign. Now flatten your collar, you son of a bitch. Or we'll put you in the Navy. See what your golden rivet does. We'll put you in artillery.
And you should be able to volunteer for it as well.
Absolutely. I would go and do volunteer whatever for the Australian Army right now for free. I believe Army Reserve units should be asking me to come and public speak at their units, and I would come and do that any day of the week. Talk to your staff, talk to your leadership, talk to your soldiers. Be the Army Reservist, the first one to go, Kaz, can you come and speak at our unit? We'll go through ops, and people think they're coming in for Tuesday just to goof off and do dickhead shit. Maybe go for a run, which should be done in your own time. And all of a sudden you go, well, we've got a public speaker, ex-veteran, YouTuber, who's here to come and tell you, make you laugh, a bit of dark humour, and make you feel special for a little while. Yeah. You know, be tougher. You're a chocolate soldier and it's winter, so you won't melt. You can take it. All right. Do you want to finish this off, mate? Is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Good luck to all the guys who are going through Kapuka and that.
Yep.
And just everybody keeping on.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone that came here tonight. I believe that national service is a topic that there should be a conversation about. I believe that it becomes that separates youth from adult, which means after you've done that time, okay, it becomes a binary thing. Have you done your mandatory service yet? Yes, I have. Okay, welcome over to the adults table. You know, if you haven't done it, maybe stay over there until you've done it. Oh, no. And then all of a sudden they've got a hunger to go and do it. What do I get by going and doing it? Okay, well, it's going to open up this door, that door, that door, and that door. Fantastic, let me in.
I believe we've got an opportunity here to do something really good for the nation.
Absolutely. And you've got to look at something that's a problem and fix it before it becomes a problem. And I think we already have a problem. You know, what better way than to get someone who's from Ballina or the Blue Mountains, you know, or Charters Towers, and they end up in a location taken away from their postcode, being around people from all over Australia, and then shown, see, you know, there's opportunities. You might go, my best friends all come from Ballarat. I'm going there. I'm not going home. I've flown them. These people accepted me. Yep, sweet. No worries. All of a sudden, accidentally, you've created a law-abiding, tax-paying, contributing individual. Plus, you're going to get people that actually have marriages. Bring that again. A sustainable way of men and women to meet each other in a environment that is more healthy than online dating. Yep. That is the real scourge. That is the real scourge. Online dating. Yeah, especially if you got looks like your father. I shouldn't say that. My dad's not a bad looking rooster. You know? But when you look like me, you know, wrapped in denim, you know, she's pretty quiet out there. Okay, stay safe, everyone. Thank you very much. Nigel Hart says, if the UK do it, Australia will follow. I hope so. I hope USA does it too, because they need a saviour too. And I believe that saviour is coming in November, and I look forward to that. I need a hero. See you later, mate.
See ya.
And all the best with that hand. You know, domestic violence, say no to it, sir. Go and tell someone if she's beating you up. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you. Thank you, everyone. Come and find me on Patreon. Let's do this.